Yeah.
Yeah. Little cover on it
Yeah.
for the fuse panel.
2 bolts holding it on.
Well, we were gonna start it and drive it out of here, but we have a problem. I've had a problem with this machine before, and hopefully this is what it is. Maybe you guys, if you had one of these Bobcats, there's a little relay inside here. It's corroded. I've cleaned it and lubed it up with some dielectric grease, but every once in a while, man, I gotta pop that relay out, pop it back in.
What size is it then?
Let's hope that's what the problem is. All right, I'll take that. 12. So what's wrong with this meter here? Alright, so this wiring harness just runs up front. We don't have 12 volts coming back. For some fucking reason. It's up front there. Right?
I don't know.
So we're gonna have to pull that thing out somehow. What in the world could have happened, Lee?
I don't know.
Overnight. It ran last night. Like, it's always gotta be something, man. Always gotta be something, man. Is the key on?
Yep.
Yeah, we do not have voltage here. It's almost like I do have voltage, but like a low amount of it. Let's see here. Maybe it's a bad ground. Like, okay, so we just finished rebuilding the engine in my Bobcat T200, and I shouldn't say rebuild. We did a refresh in it. Far from a rebuild, but honed out cylinders, threw some bearings in it, some rings in it. She's running great now, but we had a problem with this machine at the end of the season. Like, it didn't want to start sometimes, and I wondered if I was like losing a fuel pump or something, but I think what has happened here, because now it won't start at all, is I think the computer is just going bad in this machine. When I had bought this machine, somebody had, and after doing some research, somebody had added a relay up in here. See if you can see it. All right. And after following the wires and trying to figure out why that relay was there, because it didn't look factory, what I had found is I took the panel apart up in there, and I could see a white wire running up in there that isn't factory. And up in here is the parking brake switch. And that relay is controlled by the computer. So I think what had happened is, I think the computer has been going bad in this machine. And somebody had added that relay in the back for the parking brake to turn it on and off because it had quit working. So now I think what has happened is, after I have followed all the wiring, I've checked the relay is good, the fuse is good. I pulled the fuse panel out and I've searched back in here for any kind of corrosion or broken wires. Nothing. Mice haven't been in here, chewed wiring. So I think what's happening is the computer's going bad. And instead of replacing the computer, because I don't feel like dropping $1,000 on it right now, we're gonna add a relay in a switch. We're going to add a switch up into that panel that's just going to kick on the fuel relay. And I actually wanted to add a fuel relay into this machine anyways, because these older machines, all it takes to start this machine is a key you can buy off of eBay for $1. So this machine is extremely easy to steal the way it is. So the way it'll be is you'll need the key to turn the ignition on, because everything else still functions in the machine with the computer. And you'll have to flick a switch, which I'm going to add, and it'll look like a factory switch over there. Nobody even knows what turns the fuel on. So you'll have to flick a switch to turn the fuel on to run the engine. So what we're going to do now is install that relay, install that switch, and get all this put back together. All right, let's get that done. Okay, so here's the parts that I got, and I got them from Napa. And here's their part numbers. Here's the relay, AR394. And that's this relay with a little tab on it. Here's the connector we're going to use. And here is the connector that I used. EC23. And here is the switch that I'm using. RS1079. Now this whole setup cost me $74, which I think is cheap compared to the computer, for one, and two, it's gonna make it a little harder to steal. But anyways, now that I got this panel over here, and I'm glad that I caught this little tab, this is for the little fingers on the front that release the bucket. This little tab was corroded and snapped off super easy, so it was going to break on me this year. So we'll just get us another one of these switches. This switch here will fit this plug. And that's it on these. I was thinking I was gonna have to cut this out, but it's already, and there's already spots on these Bobcats for it. So, bam, it fits right in. And that's it. Let's turn the ignition on, turn the fuel on, and the machine will run. When we want to shut it off, we'll shut it off. Actually, I think we got this upside down. Yeah, it'll be like that. Ignition will be here. Okay, so this is a 5-wire relay. We don't need 5 wires. So on this, we're going to use 85, which is right there, the blue wire. Now you can find these numbers on the bottom of the relay. Boom, 85, which will be our blue wire. 30 red battery fuse. So this wire will run from the battery and we'll hook a fuse in line with this. Yellow wire, we're going to run that over to the fuel solenoid. And the green wire is our trigger wire. We're going to run a wire from this switch on our overhead console to this green wire. Now, hopefully there's some wiring up there from the factory. Hopefully I can find a hot wire up there from the factory that we can just hit this bad boy with some hot, and then we'll just have to run one wire down to this green wire, and everything else we can do in the back here of the Bobcat. So an 87A is not in use. This is a 5-wire, we only need 4 wires. Well, I found up here the switch panel. I found a hot. It's always hot. Let's figure out where it goes to. Let's see. Nope. Yep, there it is. So let's put that fuse back in. That is all right. So how does this go? Like this? Mistake goes like that. So that would mean that is just unswitched. Unswitch. So I'm gonna say that goes to nothing. And I would like for it to be switched, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Because we gotta flick the switch to turn the engine will run until we flick the switch off, and then we're killing the power anyway, so I guess we do. It's the same as running a wire from the battery. So there we go. We have constant power right there. That is what we're going to use. That's what we're going to use to run our solenoid. So all we really got to do is have to cut one of these wires, splice into it, and run it down to our solenoid. All right, there we go. There's our plan. Take these little plugs apart and switch the tab location. You just have to, hopefully you can see this. You just got to reach in this little slot here and push this little tab in, and then this will come out, and you can change it to wherever you want. Then you just got to kind of bend that little tab back and then put it back into the slot you want. In this case, we want this slot right here. Make sure it clips so it doesn't pull out. Boom. And this will be hot in, the ground for the switch, hot going out for my relay. Just test it with the test light. Now I just need to hook a wire to this and run it into the back of the machine where I'm going to put my relay. There we go. That's a future problem to look out for. That's that line coming from up top. They just have one of the stupid crimp things on it. They didn't solder it. Those are always my favorite. They always fail. They always get water in them, corrode, and fail. One day I'll be out on a job and the parking brake will just kick on the machine. The machine won't move. And I'll be like, why? Why? Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. That's why. They just have it's just laying there. Look how loose this wire is, man. It drives me crazy. See, now it's hitting the belt. I don't know if you can see way in the back there. Now that wire's hitting the belt. That's how loose that is. I can't believe that hasn't hit the belt and rubbed through. And this was that one wire they ran over here to this other relay that's up in here. That's where we're going to hide our new relay, up in here. So we got our battery right here. I'm gonna put the relay right there. And right there is fuel solenoid. So we're gonna run our new wire through here and pull tie all this together over here off to the side. Mine and their little rig up. Woo-wee, Lee, you got that fire kicking, buddy. Kicking. I love it. There we go. I found another nut. Kicking, Lee.
Well, at least they're doing one thing right today.
You. Come on, man. Sometimes you do a lot of things right. I mean, you're an expert at getting on my nerves. Ha ha. You do that excellently. Right, Lee? He gets so mad. Lee!
I'm also a major pain in the ass, but that's besides the point.
Man, you're on it. You're on a roll today, buddy. You're on a roll today, bud. You are a major pain in the butt. You make me shake my head a lot. You about ready to call it quits for the day, though?
Ah,
What?
imagine that.
You are? I'm gonna stay out here late. Imagine what?
It worked.
What, the scrub brush?
Yeah,
My idea worked?
yeah,
Oh, I was right about something?
yeah.
So weird. So weird. That occasionally happens. Very occasionally. You probably can't see what's going on, huh? Well, we're getting a positive for the two relays hooked to the positive here. And I have, let's put this lock washer on there. Kind of cleaned it up a little bit and put some dielectric grease on there because they had it, they had it dry. To get that nut tight, I'm gonna try to scrub that up with a little bit of a wire brush. It's that corrosion. Cover this in some dielectric grease too. Lee,
What?
I think you're good on feeding fire, man. Like,
Huh?
you know I don't say that often.
What?
I think you're good on feeding that fire, Bubba. All right, I just went and turned the switch on. We have hot coming from our switch up in the dash. And here is our fuel solenoid. Bam. Bam. Let's see if I can wrap this bitch in here just so I can go test that switch. All right, so switch is working. The switch is fused up there in the machine. Remember we found that fuse? We're fused back here, right here. Bam. So we just need to solder and sleeve, dielectric that. Extend this yellow wire, we'll run it along this. We'll run it along this over here to the fuel relay. We'll probably ground right there. We just need a power wire there. Bam, we'll be in business. That switch will turn on and off the fuel to the machine. That's all this engine needs to run its fuel. That's it. All right, finished product here. Bam. Fuel solenoid installed. We got that wire run along there. Solenoid back in there. our switch right here. No fuel. Bam. Just add fuel. We'll wait till the glow plugs kick on. Or kick off. Oh, no glow plugs? Must be warm enough in here. Okay, let's start it for a minute. Oh, now we gotta go plug. Now we gotta go plug light. Oh, and the battery's dead. Anyway, she's getting fuel. So my switch is working. Oh, we're gonna have to charge the battery, but we're gonna call that problem. This finished. Won't start unless you kick on the fuel pump. Fuel pump kicks on, runs. I should say fuel pump. Fuel solenoid. Boom. Solenoid on, solenoid off. All right, on to the next project. I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get this machine pressure washed down and paint it because it is ugly. Ugly. I ordered a new sticker kit for it, so I think we're just gonna knock some of the ugly off it. And other than that, it seems like it's running good. All right, see you next time.